Infinity. In its simplest definition, it simply means without limit. It's not a destination, it's not a size. We might have all first heard of No Limit from Master P in the 90s and his No Limit Soldiers. Now, the easiest examples of infinity come from mathematics. For example, if I take the integers, the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, I can continue on forever and it has no limit. But infinities have these crazy, strange properties. If you take the numbers between the whole numbers, take, for example, the numbers between 1 and 2, there are more of them than there are integers. So not all infinities have the same sizes. And in physics, we encounter these infinite sums. Take, for example, if I add all the integers, but I double the integer every time. If I take 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus 8 plus 16, and I continue to infinity, and I add up all those numbers, guess what it equals? It equals -1. Believe it or not. If you stop before infinity, you get a really big number. But if you carry it out to infinity, you get -1. Now, mathematical abstraction is one thing, but where does infinity manifest itself in the real world? It's really difficult to find. For example, some people believe that space is infinite. We, with our instruments, we can measure billions of light years. And what we've just discovered is that all of the universe that we can see out to our horizon, because beyond that, the light hasn't yet had time to reach us, is only this tiny region of all the universe that is. But is it infinite? In fact, no one really knows. But the universe may be like the surface of a ball. It has no end, but yet is finite. The universe may actually be like that. Now, there's another place in physics where we know that infinity actually does show up. If you take an elementary particle, say like an electron, as it travels through space, it can spontaneously become 2 photons, 2 particles of light. And each one of these can spontaneously become a matter and antimatter particle. And each one of them can spontaneously become 2 photons. And each one of them can spontaneously become matter, antimatter. And you end up with this infinite sum of possibilities and particles and photons. And does that really exist? Yes, it does. And the way we know is because when we do a calculation with quantum electrodynamics, and then we make a measurement, and we compare the prediction of the calculation with the measurement, it's one of the most accurate predictions that science is actually able to make. They agree to 15 decimal places. And I'll challenge you to attempt to measure anything to even 7 decimal places. Now, mathematical abstraction is one thing, the universe is one thing, and elementary particles is one thing, but where do infinities really impact our lives? In the words of Deepak Chopra, you and I are infinite choice makers. We live in a field of all possibility where at all moments we have access to infinite choices. And I don't need to look any farther than my own life to recognize that just like adding the ever doubling integers to get bigger and bigger numbers actually ends up giving you a very small negative number, the sum of all the choices that we make in our lives, even if many of them are negative, you can find that it sums to a very large positive value. And so for me, that infinity is hope. And that's the infinity that matters to me. Thank you.
All right, guys, Mega Bleeder here with another episode of Star Technology. As you can see, I cleaned up the base a little bit, did some quality of life stuff, did a little bit of work. I was trying to get some stuff done. I had a really busy week, next week, so I was trying to get a couple of things done here and there, so I'm going to get you caught up on what I did between the episodes and see if I can salvage an episode for you guys with the remaining time of my day. Let's get you caught up. Okay, so one of the things that I had did was made myself a backpack. I just upgraded the backpack that I had, so now we can see it's got a lot more room. It was just like 9 rows across before, and it goes 11 by 6 now, so there's a whole lot more room to be able to store things for fun and activities. I did change up the lighting, so we've got glowstone coming in now, so I made some glowstone. just tried to clean it up, tried to get rid of some of the torches. So I think it looks a lot nicer like this. I put some bushes down. One of the issues that we're having currently is we are running really high on the stress of our network. I actually had to shut off these machines. They are running at, the fastest RPM, so even a couple of machines here can be really taxing. So between the episodes, you probably saw in a little bit of a clip there, I did set up the primitive ore factories. I set up 5 of them. If we go downstairs, I changed the layout down here as well. So these are all pumping out. I turned resource production back on to be able to make some more materials. I did automate raw iron here. So let's come up here and grab some iron. We'll grab a couple of stacks of that. I literally just turned this back on. But if we come down here, this is just a really simple automation. I will definitely end up moving it. But there's a chute inputting into this modular router, which is then just clicking on, using the activator module, clicking on these campfires. And then you can see the timer up in the top there. It'll get popped off. It gets picked up, put into a chest, or into a functional drawer. Functional storage drawer. So, it's nice. It's automated. It's easy, simple to use. I'm actually going to go ahead and flip this off because we've got a lot of these resources here. So I can flip that off. That'll turn off this smart chute. And then I'll show you kind of what I did here. Piping up from the bottom on this side. These are getting piped out and up into those ore factories, right? These still catching up on charcoal right now, but it gets piped up into here. It then gets cooked with the encased fan, but it gets piped up into a drawer where it's holding the crushed iron ore. That is set up with a smart chute here that's dropping it into the input bus of the primitive ore factory. I don't know why these nickel ingots are not coming out. Oh, because I didn't put a nickel drawer down. That would explain it. I thought I had enough drawers. Let's move sulfur over just a hair. Need one of these guys. Bam. Move sulfur over. Put a drawer down. And now we have nickel, which I believe, yep, was a quest. So we'll put nickel in there. So that unlocks nickel. Invar, we haven't gotten to that point yet. We're getting closer and closer to finishing out the early game. I could have kind of made a push through this, but I did want to fully automate all 5 of these. These are all 5 of the raw resources that we're creating. So currently the automation that's working on happening right now is a scuffed little tree farm here that I set up. So we'll see that working once it cuts down these logs. Let me block wood, grass place. Does that sound better? That sounds a lot better. Okay, so what's happening is there's a tree farm here. Let's let it break. We can see the interface connects. The smart chute drops it out here. The logs are the only things that are coming out. They're getting cooked by another encased fan, turned into charcoal. The charcoal is then automatically being crafted into charcoal blocks, and it's getting exported. This was just kind of a last minute thing. I was running behind. Let's go ahead and turn that down too. I don't even know what that was. Grass break. Yeah, there we go. That should be a lot better. So this is gonna run. The problem is I just don't have enough charcoal right now, because of not having enough wood. So that's going to get caught up. If we take a look back here, this whole system to get this to run is really scuffed. But we're taking out of the drawer, putting into the crafters. Let me scoop by. It's coming out of this drawer and into the back here. Problem is, this needs to fill up because I don't have drawer upgrades yet, or pipe upgrades yet. These do take conveyor modules. I could probably get one of these now that I have Invar. I don't know that this one allows for round robining, though. I don't think it does. Let's scoot by. So, part of the problem is we just not make enough wood, not getting enough charcoal. I will definitely rebuild this farm. We go back downstairs. I did move this farm away. In the last episode, I talked about putting biodiesel down here. I don't think that we're going to do that. I did move our witch water down here and moved our barrel over. We can see the witch water comes in at a pretty decent rate there. This will get hooked up. I just don't have it hooked up yet. This is kind of mocked up right here, so it'll be a similar system to what's happening over there, where it'll be automatically sifted. And the blackstone, if we crush this with a hammer, it's crushed blackstone, and then we sieve it to get stibnite and galena. Stibnite gets cooked in antimony. The galena gets cooked into lead, which we have a ton of it. We have 16,000 in the drawer. If I needed some lead, which I have here and there, I just kind of break it down and sieve it myself. What we have here is where we're going to make diesel. So these are the building blocks that I'm going to use to build the diesel plant. I'm going to try and change it up a little bit, add a little bit of color now that we've got blackstone, amethyst, and quartz. I'm not exactly sure what it's going to look like, but here's the stuff that was torn down here. We've got our arboreal extractors to run our fluid cells, or to make our latex. That's what it's for. Here I have the two farm controllers. That would be this system here, and the two buckets of water. Was it the fluid pipe? No, the fluid pipe is part of latex production. So up here, we want to get working on diesel. But I think I want to sleep. At some point, I'll probably make a proper bedroom. Getting diesel set up, we are going to need, or biodiesel, I should say. There is a pretty significant difference. We are going to need clocks. I know that these, the basin lids for the fermenting or whatever is pretty slow. Let's go grab some more gold. We only got 40 as of right now, but I believe, look at that, it was a quest. So we'll claim these rewards. Cool. Drop those off. Let's grab another clock. I don't know how many clocks I made. Let's see, how many can we do? Can we do 8? Yes. Can we do 12? Oh, we can do exactly 12. So we'll make 11. We just need some more andesite alloy. There we go. We're going to need 12 basins. There we go. That's that. That's that. That is what we use to make the ethanol. To make the ethanol, we're going to craft, I believe, we could make another farm for potatoes, but I think we might just use sugar. Sugar we could get. We could mill, but I think we'll just probably craft it. Because I made a bunch of crafters, so I think that we'll just do that. Crafters. So we can use a crafter to turn sugarcane into sugar. The other thing that we'll need is bone meal. Bone meal, we will compost more sugarcane. That is an option. It's a 50%. It would be nice to use the farm. I don't know. Let's see, the rice. I think the rice can be composted as well, but it's 30%. If we take a look at the plant oil, here the rice is good for plant oil, but I think we're going to have an excess of plant oil. We're going to need a basin, another basin for this. We're going to need more andesite alloy. Let's do 2 and 2 mechanical press. I think I might have everything I need for that. Yep, there's that. Okay, so we have enough to make 12 basins. We have a crafter to make the sugar cane. We're going to need bone meal, so we're going to need composters. And I'm not sure if I can pipe into composters. Let's take a look. Let's get... I have functional drawers on me. So if we take one of these guys and we move it up, let's take a look. Do item pipes connect? They do not. I believe hoppers will work. I don't know that I'm going to need more than one because of the speed of the basin and basin lid. So let's make a hopper. I have not made a hopper yet because they are a little bit complicated. The gear will do that. I know that I could be rushing through. I could be working through to be able to get these things. I could be getting into LV. You know, making the crafter would be, or the hopper and an assembler would be a lot easier. But we're just there yet. Do that and a chest and a hopper. But you know what? I'm gonna need 2 hoppers. Let's get another one. Why did that not work? Change it to 2, possibly. There we go. That. Oh, I think it was registering the one that was in my inventory. I think that's why it seemed like it was kind of bugging out a little bit. So if we take a hopper, and we can go in from that direction, and we could just throw in, yeah, some sugar cane. Yeah, so that does work. Okay. So to make the biodiesel, we're going to need a bit of room. I'm probably going to build up walls over here. So if I were to grab some more of the andesite, is there a good chisel version we could use for the kind of baseline? Use that a lot. They're a good brick pattern. We'll take these. So if we imagine there's a wall here, I don't like those actually. We imagine there's a wall here. Connecting textures on. This one or this one? This one. That one's less busy. Okay, we're gonna have walls over here. Am I putting 3s down? Let's see. All right, so the Did I put my dirt away? I need dirt for my farmland, and I'm also gonna need... It's 16 dirt. The hell is that? Oh, that scared me. That actually scared me. Gave me goosebumps. It scared me. Jeez. Where is my hoe? I need one of those to till the farmland. So, diesel power is going to be created here. We need our treated wood planks. I think I might have put all those away. Yep. They are all over the place. Treated wood planks. I think a stack would be enough. How's the charcoal going? Not going great. Charcoal's not going great. That's alright. Like I said, I think I'm gonna rebuild that farm, that tree farm. I'm not exactly sure how. What I might do, we might pull some of this bone meal off, or we might turn the saplings into bone meal. Don't know. We could use a modular router to bone meal the trees. That would make it a whole lot faster. Okay, so the farm. The large farm controller. What we're looking at here, if this 5, 6, how does this not have a proper center? How did I end up with not a proper center on here? 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. This is 3. This is 3. Could just build 2 separate farms. I think I have all the blocks that I would need. I don't know if I have all the room though. 5, it's a 5 by 5, right? It's a 5 by 4. Yeah. It'll just be a little bit awkward. Controller goes there. And I might rebuild it if I find that I don't really like it at all. And I didn't build it correctly there anyways. There's my wrench. Left my wrench back at the crafting thing. But luckily we can use our pickaxe. That one. So need our dirt. Water. We can in-vein mine that. That's pretty cool. The treated wood frame. I don't know that I have enough treated wood frames. I'm pretty certain I do not. I might have enough in the system. Oh, we can climb this. That's nice. Stretch over there. Yeah. Not gonna have enough. Okay, treated wood frame. I think I do have enough. I think I originally just doubled the recipe. That way I could build 2 farms. And here we are, building 2 farms. There. Yep. Exactly enough. Okay, so we have 2 output buses, 2 input buses. So what we're gonna do, the input buses don't need to do anything because it's non-consumed, right? Doesn't get messed with at all. So if we move these inputs back here, we won't ever have to worry about them. We will put, which one of these is going to take up more space? The ethanol takes up more space, and that's the sugar cane one. So that's going to go here. And then we need to set the circuit to that. This one will be rice. Set the circuit. And then it's not going to work because it doesn't have an output bus. But the output we will run... see, it's going to have to go into a mechanical press. I think we'll do it here. Put an output there. Now it should start running. And this one is rice. So if we put our rice container, put it facing in like so. This and auto export. I think it just is auto exporting. That's an auto, or that's an export bus, output bus, I mean. Okay, that's running perfectly as well. So we're going to need a crafter. We're going to need to pull mechanical power over. That should be totally doable. Let's see. First things first. The basin from plant oil is going to be seeds, so we'll do rice. If we were to do that here, let's move. It's going to be a fluid coming out, items going in. Let's actually turn this like that. Basin's there. I need my wrench. I can spell wrench. Okay. Wrench that out. That should be getting rice. When we do get mechanical power, it'll come in through there. That will start stamping. To make our bone meal, make our ethanol, we're going to need bone meal and sugar. Actual sugar, not sugar cane. So to make the bone meal, we are going to come right off of here. We're going to have a crafter that's going to be functioning off of this as well. So if we do that, the crafter will like rotate over. Or down. That will craft into sugar there. And then if we do 2 drawers, one for sugar, one for bone meal. We do this. That should be pretty much everything that we want. That's bone meal. Awesome. If I take that out, put some sugar in there. Now, I think I want to move this on top, actually. Will the hopper work from this side? It will not. It's okay. We do this and this. This will future-proof it a little bit. And now we can export off of these two to be able to take items and put them into our basin. Let's turn all of this into sugar. Take all of the rice. That's full. Those are full, so we can just trash this rice. Let's turn off the composter. Yep, that's good. So we're getting bone meal. And we can expand this, so we could add more hoppers. More hoppers on top, more hoppers on the bottom. Let's, it's not really important that those are filled like that. We don't need that to have a bunch of extra sugarcane in it, but we should be keeping up on sugarcane production. Like, we shouldn't really have any issues, I think. And if we do, we'll stack another farm on top of it, I suppose. But I think because of the speed of this process, we'll be fine. Let's lock those. Take that out. The basins, we will do... I think it'll be fine if we just do this. Well, I'm going to want to put fluid pipes down as well, which I do not have enough. I can pipe in through the bottom. So if we went this way, if I have to, I'll run composters out this direction. No, I want items to run up through the middle. Yeah. Do 6. Then placeholder 6. And do I just click this? No. Need to place them on top. Now, of course, it is directional. I don't want them facing the wrong way. There we go. We need more item pipes. And then we'll need some mechanical power over here, which is going to be a little bit easier said than done with the way that I placed this. Maybe we'll move the crafter underneath. Well, we need power through this, so if anything, we'll connect. We can rotate these. Or we'll connect it there, run it across, run it through a gear there, connect it down behind. I think that will work. Let's go and grab more fluid pipes and more item pipes. All right, so actually since the last clip, it's been like a whole entire week. Turns out I was not able to get an episode done, as you may have noticed if you follow along with the channel. My mic stand here. So yeah, it was a pretty wild week for me. So here I am a week ago on the same Sunday. At actually about the exact same time that I was recording the last episode. So here we are. I did finish. I mean, if you want to call it finish. I set it up. I've got everything powered. So I've got the little basins here with the tops on them, and they are making, we can look at it, they're making ethanol. Here we are completely backed up on sugarcane. We've got a crafter here. The bone meal's doing all right. I actually modified it so that we've got sugarcane coming in here. That's creating bone meal. But I put down another input bus, so we have the one back here that's growing the sugarcane. But you can see here, the recipe that we're running is actually faster. So if we take a look at the farm, if we run it with just sugarcane and no other catalyst, it's 10 seconds, and there's a 100% chance to get 16 and a 50% chance for another extra. If we run it with fertilizer, it drops it down to 2 seconds and gives us a stack. But if we use just bone meal, there's a 25% chance that it'll get used. I believe that's being explained there. And then we get 32 instead of 16. So it's quite a bit faster. If we were using compost or this fertilizer here with calcium, ash, and a chemical reactor, I suppose we could distill it like in the future if we get fermented biomass from something. From like a brewery, I suppose. We could have a faster setup there, but I don't think it's completely necessary. I did hook up our press here to be able to squeeze our rice into plant oil, and I did filter those because if it's got more than 9 rice in there, it'll make these bags of rice, which is nice for storage, but I don't think, it works for anything else. I suppose for decoration or something like that, it'd be neat if there was, like, a way to sell it or something. I don't know. So we've got a full tank of ethanol there, a full tank of plant oil there, and those are being extracted through that guy. If I come around here, they're being extracted out of these and put into this basin, and then they're getting mixed into biodiesel. So the biodiesel we can actually hook up and make some more fluid pipes. Bronze, do I have... bronze. We've got a little bit of bronze. Let's get just a quick... I might have put some up here. No, I didn't put any up here. So, this guy, that's all good. Let's get some more pipes. Oh, I did not grab enough. It's not 3. It's 3 copper pipes. Is that what it was? I don't know why this isn't making noise. Oh, because I turned it off over there in the diesel plant. Yeah. I could probably maybe turn it up just a little bit. But because I was over there making those guys up, it was making a lot of noise. And I also kind of during the week took some time to craft up these bad boys. So I went through, got some brass, the steam engines. None of this stuff was particularly difficult. Some copper, blah, blah, blah. Like, not bad. So I got these set up to be able to make 4 of them so we could see the crafting process here. It wasn't bad. I did have to make more brass just because of the amount of brass that you use. But, so we've got 3. We need 1 more using a flint and steel. Right there. Fantastic. And that also was a quest. So we got steam powered. Allegedly, yep, steam powered. And then diesel engines. Fantastic. And I had picked up a bucket of plant oil and ethanol. That's going to lead us. So the gold leads to that. Cool. Those guys can go in there. Let's go ahead over to our biodiesel plant. Let's see how these huge diesel engines work. Then I think we would have to put down a connector there. Now, how does it work if I put a connector down first? And I click on the side. Does not work. Nope. I click on there. Nope, that doesn't work. What if I click there like that? All right. So we want to actually probably, I think I want to transmit the power going into the floor. I think that would be pretty interesting. So let's try this. We'll put some diesel engines lined up here. I always forget the way scaffolds work. We'll try this. Will this be a good spot? we shift it around. Like so. No, it's not working. If I place it like that. Of course it's not going to work like that either. Shift it down. I think that was it. I think I need to come down one block. But I think I do. It's not going to work with this. I do that. And that. This. We want to rotate it. And we do that. What if we rotate this? Place it that way. There we go. Now what happens if we do this? Nothing, and we cannot rotate it. Alright. We shift right click. Looks like it. Those are all connected there. Don't know which way they need to rotate. The question is, if I run in fuel there, does that work? I might have crashed the game. I crashed the game. I'll be back. Alright, so got the game back up. Got a pipe ran over for our diesel generators. And they don't do anything. What about if I do that? No. Okay. Biodiesel. Oh, they're empty. Extract. Oh. Oh, okay. Those are loud. Go ahead and turn that way far down. They're creating a lot of stress units. That's excellent. How much is this running? Very little. It's not very fast at all. Alright. So let's go ahead and connect this up. We'll just go straight down into the floor. I'll leave some room here. Let's take a look and see how many more I would be comfortable squeezing into here. 2 more there. 2 more there. So if we do shaft, we would put another one there. If we then take that down this way, that would work. I did get a comment in an episode from before. We should definitely make one of these. So let's go ahead and get that set up. Glowstone, that's easy peasy. Spyglass, easy. Redstone torch. Inheritor, we just need logs. We could use this. Yeah. Wireless terminal, neat. But we want to upgrade it. Using some steel plates. Using the bad steel plate recipe, but we'll take the advanced wireless terminal. And then I believe if we shift right click, oh yeah, and it's a belt. Look at that. And I can hit tab. I've already set up the keybind for this ages ago, so I can hit tab, and now we can open it here. We could even open it in our biodiesel plant. All right, so cool. We need some extra shafts. Take that. 1 sec. Phone call. All right, so got that all taken care of. So we've got our generators, or our diesel engines hooked up. If we take a look, I put down a stressometer and a speedometer. The speedometer is less relevant because that's kind of dependent on the spot and the gearing, stuff like that. We've got stuff geared up and geared down. But if we take a look, now we've got a 52,000 stress unit capacity. So that is pretty nice. That's pretty nice. And we're making plenty of biodiesel. We can see there up in the top. Or just off to the right that the diesel's not really very slow at all. And then right when it gets down to 900... Is it 900? What number does it go to? Probably 800? Does it make 2 buckets at a time? It mixes 1 bucket of plant oil, 1 bucket of ethanol. It makes 2 buckets. Oh, 200 millibuckets is what it is, yeah. So, I mean, this thing is... Yeah, we're good. It would take us a while. We could get down... We could easily get down the other diesel generators or diesel engines. But I know that also, what is the diesel engine? So let's check out diesel. There is a way: engine piston, engine silencer, engine turbocharger. Put in the diesel engine to silence it. Well, we've got a silencer, but using a diesel engine to make it faster. So we could try this. Let's get 4 of these. Because I think we take some of this guy here. What else did you want? More plates. We do have iron. We are going to have to move our plate presser here because I did disconnect this from all of this stuff. Do I have stuff to reconnect it? Do I want to reconnect it here? Let's just take it. Be careful not to spill our lava out into the world. If we come up with a neat place to run stress units up over here. So what I'm thinking I'm actually going to do is set up a create workshop here. Hopefully there'll be room to get circuits automated here, like LV circuits. I don't know how difficult it'll be to run that. But let's go upstairs and just place down the depot here. We'll break a hole in the back of the wall, place down our press like so. We'll rotate it. Give ourselves that guy. We'll take this downstairs. And rotate that. Get rid of that. Use that. Now we just need to get power connected to this. We can do that if we place a gearbox here, put a shaft there, and then go like so. Let's go back upstairs. So now we got this guy. Now, how fast is this running? Is this max speed? I think this is max speed. Let's actually take this. Put the stressometer back there. Let's check this. It's not as fast as possible. But what we can do is make some more of these. 3 of them. Let's check this out. Let's see what this does. I'm wondering if this is going to give us an issue. Shift right click. So maybe it doesn't work on the huge diesel engines. Shift for a summary. We ponder this. Huge diesel engines connect to a shaft. We click it there. This is for inputs of fuel. Cool. Okay. So that's all the information they wanted to provide on those. The diesel engine. Compact way of generating energy. Give it fuel. No other notes. Set up an engine silencer. Okay. Used to make diesel engines quiet. We'll stop making noise. Tell me about the turbocharger. No information about the turbocharger. Okay. Let's ponder the modular. Functions like normal. Once you give it some fuel, they'll produce kinetic energy. They can be stacked, like so. And then they share. Still nothing about the turbocharger. Just the silencer. Okay. We have to use it on a different face of the block. What if we use it up here? Over here. Over here. On this side. On this side. Over here on the shaft. I'm right-clicking everywhere. Shift right-clicking. Left-click. That doesn't do it. Okay, so it must be on the other ones. Okay. I guess that's probably... I guess if we look at it and we read it, use on a diesel engine to make it faster. So not a modular, not a huge, but a diesel. It's probably fair enough to say that's the case. But what we do know is that we're making plenty of stress units. And what I think I'm going to do is rebuild the tree farm. Because this tree farm kind of sucks. So let's go downstairs and turn it off. And let's consider what it looks like making another one. We can get rid of all of that. We will leave that. And let's just break this down. We'll get rid of this and move it to another spot. Let me figure... Oh, I will need to break these saplings before I run. There we go. That way I don't have to cut down a tree. Alright, so I am going to figure out how I'm going to do this, and I'll be back. I've got an idea. Let's see how it goes. Alright, I am going to be honest with you. That took way too long to set up a tree farm. But if we come over here, we might even see one grow. Let's see if we can hang out for a second and see. Over these. What are these? The primitive ore factories. Ah, we're not going to see one grow. But if we go downstairs, in the background here, you can see I moved our tree farm. So, get it set up with a cart assembler, right? And built ourselves a little cart contraption here. So he's just running and running and running. You can see we've got 1,100 spruce logs. We've got 600 charcoal. We've already started backing up on blocks of charcoal, even though our machines up there are full. And if we really wanted to, we can just run through here and fully grow these. And then we've got massive amounts of spruce. And now you can see it's up there, and now it's gone. So that pretty much solves our charcoal issue for the time being. I haven't let it run. I did run through a couple of times just to kind of get a whole bunch of stuff built up here. But That is a huge, huge way to solve our issue. And now we should have a bunch of ingots and stuff like that rolling in. You can see it just dumps it out right here. You know, we've got now pretty much we've got iron, copper, gold, tin, zinc, gallium, nickel, and sulfur all on passive, which is pretty nice. That should help us a whole lot. Not only that, but so I tried setting that up with a gantry, and the gantry is weird, the gantry carriage, because the gantry carriage, put that out of there, it won't clip through. So this guy, you can see it's like, I think the gantry might clip through saplings, but it wouldn't clip through already grown trees and stuff like that. So it was giving me a big issue. I tried moving around and doing a whole bunch of stuff, and it just was not working. So I just went with the cart assembler, tree farm. So that should get us set up pretty good, and should keep us stocked up on wood for a while. Anytime we need wood, anything like that, we can come down here and grab it. Which actually, what I would really love to do is set up some of these inventory trims and these connectors. That way I could set like inventory connectors over here. I'm not exactly sure how I would go about doing it to make it clean. Truth be told, I could probably just stick an inventory connector on the front of each of these, and that would give me access to the blocks. I could probably stick one on the side here and route some cables over. I do not know, but what I would like to do is make a little bit more progress, since the video is going to be a week late. So let's take a look at our quest book and see if there's anything else we could really knock out. Soul sand shouldn't be too difficult. Witch water with some sand. We do have unlimited sand. We could do the bulk haunting, so that's an option. Large stone barrel. I don't think that if we get to a point where we need a lot of lava, we might go that way. Making Invar. This will get us to the point where we're getting into power, so maybe we'll do that. Invar is 2 iron. That would be an alloy smelter. We'll probably make the dust, Invar dust. So if we hit Alt, Control, yeah, Control click on that. We'll say that's our favorite. Nickel dust. We can... Oh, it looks like we are going to have to pull that out. We could use a steam macerator, but what we're going to have to do is pull some nickel out of here before it actually gets processed. So once this actually runs through and gives us a little bit of nickel, I think what I'll do... Get more nickel. No, no. It looks like the only one we're getting nickel from... Oh, I guess both of these we're getting nickel from. So what I'll actually do, I think, is put down another one of these. And then I'll grab a drawer. Is this one locked? It is locked. So I'll place that down and I'll wait until some nickel comes through. And if we're going to be making Invar dust, the iron we can... Let's see. We're going to have to pull iron dust out of here too. So let's go ahead and grab another item pipe and another drawer. This drawer needs to be locked. We'll put him down right there. We're going to take some iron out once it comes out. Iron dust. You can go in there. It didn't drop anything else. We're just waiting on some nickel. We have a little bit of nickel here. It doesn't drop super often. I should probably put a downgrade in this iron one. I think that would make sense. Let's see if we get any nickel out of this. It's a low chance, I think. But we're going to need to break into... Let's see, we didn't get any there. Hopefully we'll get some during this run. We'll break into power by getting some Invar. Don't think we're going to have a good option. We could do a low pressure steam boiler, but I don't really want to get into steam. Oh, we could do it this way. We could mix it this way. Never mind. Disregard. Let's take that out. We'll pick up both of these. Drop down here. Teleport back up. Put those down. Let's throw that iron on there because we don't need it. But what we can do is take... What was it? The Invar. Invar ingot. We can mix it this way. So half a stack of nickel. Pop that in there. So if we throw that in there and that in there, and we grab a little bit of charcoal. Let's grab some charcoal from downstairs just to put into our storage system. We'll do blocks. And some charcoal. We don't need all of this, but let's do 2 of them like that. Grab our flint and steel. Alright, got some Invar coming in. Drop that off. There we go. Cooking up some Invar. That's going to get us this quest, which is going to get us closer to soul infused wires. So we do need soul sand. The first set of soul sand is going to come from barrel soaking witch water, which is fine. We'll let this finish up. We'll accept this quest. Sweet. Take our coins. Let's take a look downstairs at what our witch water looks like. A stone barrel. Let's see. Do we have a wooden barrel? Yes, we do. We probably only need one. We probably only need one. And we'll just tap into it somewhere. I don't think that we need a ton of soul sand. So he's getting witch water. We're going to do barrel transformation. We'll take sand out. Pop that in there. Is that how it works? Soul sand. Does it need a... No, it doesn't. Just any sand. A barrel soaking. Barrel soaking. Go. Go. Soul sand. Barrel soaking. Witch water. And sand. No circuit? Circuit. Okay. In here it doesn't say anything about a circuit. Just for the record, it doesn't say it needs a circuit. Alright. So we'll take some soul sand. We got that. By combining witch water and soul sand, you can make your first soul sand. Witch water and sand, you can make your first soul sand. You can either repeat this or invest in a soul campfire to bulk haunt more sand. Alright, so we need soul infused wires. Our first superconductor. Superconductors are lossless, meaning they won't lose power the further they go. Always use them whenever possible. So we need soul infused ingots, which means we're going to need soul infused dust, which is crushed Invar. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. And that, I feel like, is where we're going to hit a big snag. Because we can get this, but the Invar dust is going to be a problem. What do we need to do to get into steam if we did a macerator? A steam boiler? Low pressure, high pressure, liquid steam boiler? Solid steam boiler. I think we're going to go this route. See if we can make one of these bad boys. Those two. Furnace. And a wrench? What do you mean I don't have a wrench? Of course I have a wrench. What is it? What is it thinking? Let's grab the furnace. And the bricks. And the steel. Do I not? I don't have enough steel plates. I think that might be why it's being weird. Yeah, that's why it was being weird. Okay, so the high pressure steam boiler. High pressure steam solid boiler. If I placed that just like, I need it somewhere that I have water, right? How many fluid pipes do I have? Not many. Where's a good spot that I have water at? Like right over here? Let's tap into this water line, get a little bit of steam machines going. If I do that, and then I need to vent it with a hammer, right? Okay, we silenced it. Does it not need? Okay, so the temperature is going to go up. Now, I thought steam machines needed to be, let's go with the piston. I thought steam machines needed to have a vent. Small bronze pipe. Bronze machine casing. Bam. Low pressure steam macerator. Okay, so once this heats up, will it automatically output? That I do not know, but I'll be back. All right, there's some steam going in there, so let's try this. Look at that. Invar dust. Game's too easy. If we're making this, that makes that. It's telling me in the quest to make 8. So that tells me we need to do this, which means we're going to need 8 Invar dust. We can drop those off. Means we need 16 soul sand. This machine also needs to be quieter. We use the mortar. Hammer. There we go. This guy's cooking up. That's cooking up. Don't have an electric furnace. Let's see. Would it make sense for me to be able to put one down up here? I think so. Let's grab our encased fan back. Let's grab a gear or a cog. Can we put down a faster one? I really shouldn't. Yeah, that's gonna be too high anyways. So we're gonna have a cursed cogwheel, I think, or a cursed fan. What I would like to be able to do, actually, put the fan there. Is that enough room? Lava block. Yeah, I think so. So let's grab trapdoors. Keep the soul sand, because we need trapdoors, right? Over here, we'll put one down. Facing this way. Yep. And then lava. I think it's in my backpack. It's in my backpack. Oh, that hurt. Wrong spot right there. That's where that goes. Where's my nearest water? Over here. Nope, I don't need it. Okay. Let's grab a depot. Depot. Right there. Yep. Now this just needs to be hooked up. So how can we hook this up? Way makes sense. There we go. If we do gearbox, two of these guys, make them vertical. One there. I think I need another one. And shafts, you, gearbox, shaft, gearbox. You cook in the right direction, though. It is not. That's a bummer. We just need another one. Like that. Yep, that's working. Go into the basement. Grab our invar. And then we can go back upstairs. Craft this, right? Soul infused. Pop that bad boy down there. How are we doing over here? We've got a little bit more gold. I think we might have picked up a little bit more nickel. Pretty nice. Soul infused ingots. Yeah. Okay. Now this is going to want me to turn it into wires, which I can do very inefficiently. When we get the wire mill, we can double it. Right. It's telling me I need 16 of these, which means I'm gonna need 8 more. Invar dust. Grab our soul sand. Big stack of soul sand we got here, and we'll throw another stack of sand in there just to have it. He's doing his thing. Now, I'm wondering, I know that this heats up. It'll lose its temperature. Yeah, be certain it will lose its temperature once I kind of walk away from it. Take these, though. One more. Then we need 16 more soul sand, right? Crafting table. Soul infused. Hook it up. And let's see the wires. That's what we want. We're going to save it. The plates, that's what we want there. We can stamp it. So stamp it up. Once we get that, we are then going into the Great Industrial Revolution. We do need to get circuits, though. So let's see. There we go. And then lastly, we're going to do this. That probably hurt some of you watching to see me go through not making any of these efficiently at all. All right, so we have to backtrack a little bit into the circuit. Getting into the circuit, the things that we have left are vacuum tubes, resistors, and circuit boards. So we'll save this one. Sure, why not? Get rid of those and that. What else do we not need up here? I think we'll leave everything else for now. Let's see how difficult circuits are. Okay. We can make a stack of these. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's get some wood planks. Some more wood planks. Let's grab some wood from down here. Do this. And we'll take all of them. We ran out of sticky resin, but that's just cooked slime. Cooked slime is this cooked shiitake mushroom. Right? This and that. Slime, smelted, blasting. Yep, that's right. Okay, if we're taking a look also, we're going to need resistors. So we're going to need fine copper wire. Uh-oh. Copper wire. Fine copper wire. We can make foil plates. Okay. It gets us 2. We use this copper wire. That's plates. This one's probably better. That gets us 2 there. Okay, so we'll do this for now. This for now. We'll take this. Carbon, charcoal. Not that one, but this one. We do this tree. Charcoal dust. We'll save that. Bam, bam, bam. Paper, sticky resin is that. That's, nope, not it. This one, I want that to be the recipe. And could we make, let's see, the resistor. If we made a stack of resistors, that would give us a half a stack of basic electronic circuits. So let's make a stack if we can. Pop that back on there. All right. So, copper. Grab out plenty of copper. If we're making this, that's going to be copper plates. We need 64 of these. We did that. Take those. We've got these. Pop those in there. Charcoal dust, that's pretty easy. 32 of these bad boys. Got that. This guy. Make up a stack of those. Boom, look at that. A stack of resistors. Man. Man, look at that. What else do we need? Circuit boards. We're still working on a stack of the circuit board. But that should not be too difficult. What are we missing? We're missing more resin. I thought we grabbed enough. Let's take a look at what else we need in the quest book. The vacuum tube. Alright. So we do that. Glass tube is that. Glass pane is that. Let's go ahead and bookmark that. Do this. The copper wire, our recipe that we're using is that. The steel bolt, we're currently using this. Cool. Swap this out. Okay. Using the vacuum tubes, we're also going to want a stack of these. I think if we do shift, do that. Let's see, what are we missing? Let's grab a bunch of copper. I think it's telling us we need copper plates. So we'll stick a bunch of plates on there. We'll pop those in there, do this. Take a stack of resin boards. What's the next one? This is more copper wire. Okay. We'll put that on the back burner for a second. And I'm actually going to let this copper process, and I'll be right back. Alright, I think, depending on how long our wire cutters last, not long. Let's see, can we get Invar steel? A steel set of wire cutters. Let's do this. And get some plates. We're going to need some rods. We're also going to need a bolt. I think that's going to jack up some of our ratio. Wire cutters. Did. Okay. Still need these. We really just break our wire cutters again? I think we broke the wire cutters again. That's silly. 1, 2, 3. Say 4 bolts. Steel screw. Wire cutters. Wires. We only need 28. There we go. We need another set of those. We need to make the glass tubes. We did that. I went ahead and set up another little automation here so we can just stick the quartz, this glass dust, whatever it is, in there. Alright, so stack of vacuum tubes. There we go. Get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that. Let's see. Now all we need, let's go back to our quest book. Accept that coin. Now all we need is to get this bad boy. So we'll set that there. And if we actually set it correctly, we want a stack. Save that. We're going to need a lot more copper plates to make wires. So I'm going to do more of that processing again. How many stacks? A lot. A lot. All right. I'll be back. All right. So a whole bunch of crafting later. I moved around a couple of things here and there. this is what we've got. The circuit board. Open this back up. Bam. That gets us that. Sets us up. And then that should leave us with getting close to the circuit. The LV circuit. Just need to set that, save that. And let's take a look at, if I can open my inventory, what it's going to take. We set this up to 32 and do that. Looks like we're just going to need some wires. I'll be back. All right, this should be the last little bit of everything that we need to craft some circuits. Pop those in there. Just these 90 wires. And lastly, the basic electronic circuit. Eventually we'll upgrade to doing this, but this is going to be, let's double check our quest and make sure, yep, bam, 32 LV circuits. We skipped it and we only needed one steam machine. Look at that. Great industrial, any converter. Let's see if we can do this one. Let's see if we can end it out on this. If this is simple enough, we might be able to knock it out without too much trouble. 4 amp energy converter. Can we do it? Can we do it? It's gonna take a wrench. I don't know why. I think it's probably because we don't have enough steel plates. It's telling me it's because of the wrench. That is incorrect. Have a wrench. Lastly, some tin cables. We are out of rubber. We're out of tin. Grab a couple of those. Those. If we grab a little bit of rubber we have left over, drop that off. Take that out, pop that back in there. Is that enough? Is that enough? LV hole. 4 amp energy converter. Look at that. And then that moves us up there with that energy hull. Yeah, awesome. That pretty much we didn't get the better steel one done yet. But that gets us into the Industrial Revolution. Power. We got our circuits. We are able to pick up machines now. Polarizer. Getting into creating electricity, power, super chest, LV electric motor. The world is really going to open up now, all because of these circuits. I think what I would love to be able to do is automate the LV circuits using this space over here, but I'm not really certain how possible that's going to be. We do have a bunch of steel and charcoal. Check out all this steel. Let's drop off these ashes. That's a decent amount of steel. How much steel do we have? 500? Sweet. If we take a bunch of this iron, we can drop it off in our wrought iron maker. That'll get us more raw iron. That'll get us set up and ready to go. We'll grab 2 stacks of charcoal. How much raw iron do we have? We can put a stack in here. Get our steel back going. Got a little bit of gold built up. Sweet. We're getting a lot of zinc. All right. But that takes us into... gets us done with the early game. I suppose we could knock out the large wooden barrel, maybe the tempered glass. And that, maybe we'll do that between the episodes. Over here we've got AE2. Hopefully we're not going to be that long. We'll probably look into this one first. If we pin that one, we'll look into that one first. I think I can unpin this one. Yeah. Sweet. Excellent. But I think that's going to be it for this episode. It's a much longer episode. We'll call it a double episode. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for stopping in.